Brian Hancock. I work here with the city of Lethbridge, and I'm honored. Toby asked me to MC this morning. Yesterday, in typical Toby fashion, he asked me to, but I'm glad to be here. I'm proud to say the city of Lethbridge acknowledges we are gathered on the lands of the Blackfoot people of the Canadian Plains and pay respect to the Blackfoot people past, present, and future, while recognizing and respecting their cultural heritage, beliefs, and their relationship to the land. The city of Lethbridge is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. Welcome to the 2024 Green Day kickoff, as a Green Shirt Day kickoff, as we gather to honor the legacy of Logan and promote organ donation awareness. Today we wear our green shirts not just as a symbol, but as a commitment to saving lives through organ donation. Logan's selfless act continues to inspire countless individuals globally. As we embark on this prep conference, let us amplify this message of hope and compassion. Together, let's pledge to spread awareness, register as donors, and celebrate the gift of life. Let Logan's legacy fuel our collective mission towards a healthier, more compassionate world. And with that, I'd like to get things rolling, turning over the opening remarks with Mayor Blaine Hyggen.
What a great day it is to see everybody here show up. Weather's nice out there, I mean, for a Canada Day, right? Almost 6 years ago already. In so many ways, of course, I'm sure many of you would agree, it feels like it was yesterday when we got the news of the Humboldt Broncos bus crash. And I knew exactly where I was. I was watching a Hurricanes game, and it was a pause, and there was some commotion, and then there was a stoppage, and the news came in of what had happened. And it was again a day that I'm sure many of us again know where we were, and a day that we would never forget. At that time, we could never have dreamt of anything positive coming out of course, a fateful day like that, right? Yet here we are today, honoring the legacy of Logan with the 6th anniversary of Green Shirt Day. And that's coming up on April the 7th. I'm really proud to say that in my previous role as a councillor, I brought forward a couple of motions to honor and recognize Logan and his legacy. One of the resolutions council passed was to rename the Adams Arena to the Logan Boulay Arena. We also passed a motion which has been done annually, and a lot of people will ask, why do you do this motion annually? Why do you bring this forward to council? Why isn't it in perpetuity? And it's something that I thought that it would give more meaning, is every single year, if we were able to bring this forward as a motion. If it was in perpetuity, it would be recognized, and don't get me wrong, we'd all probably still be here today, but it does bring it to light each and every year, which I think of extremely importance, and it renews the awareness of the solidifying support of this amazing cause. It's not too often in my job that I get to say I did something today that may save somebody's life. And supporting Green Shirt Day is quite literally a way of doing that. Because of today's event and the Green Shirt Day campaign, lives will be saved. That is an undeniable fact. We know that is what Logan would have wanted because he chose to sign his donor card. I encourage you all, if able, to consider becoming a registered donor. It's a way to honor the legacy of a young man taken from us way too soon. Thank you.
And with that, we will hand it over to the person who designed this year's shirt, the unveiling of the Green Shirt Day logo with Dr. Hali.
Well, good morning, everyone. Nato'yi'kina'soyi. I feel very honored to be the designer of the shirt this year, which is inspired by the star blanket. In our conversations that Bernie and I and Toby and I have had, there was a story that came about where Logan had once received a star blanket, and it had great meaning for him. And so that inspired me to choose the star this year. The star really, and gift giving in the Blackfoot culture. Blanket giving is a sign of kindness, generosity, and hope. And I think that's what Logan's Legacy really is and stands for. I also just wanted to make mention to encourage everyone to become a donor if you can, and to also volunteer. This sort of came about as a volunteer project, and it's really important. I think it strengthens community, it brings us together. So volunteerism, if you can, please, it brings our community better together. So I wanted to thank the Boulay family. We actually have a connection in my teacher training. Bernie was my teacher, my practicum teacher, and so we have that connection from way back when, and this year she's going to be retiring, so let's give her a round of applause. So thank you very much.
And on behalf of the Blood Tribe, we're going to have remarks from Dr. Charles Weaselhead, and I could be here all day giving him a list of accomplishments, accolades, titles, but I'll no.
Thank you very much. Okay, nistwana koka tatsiki pui. Kitik skokanax matsimukwa paksiskanatni. I want to quickly start by thanking Toby and Bernie for the invite for me to join the kickoff of the campaign leading up to the April 7th, 6th annual Green Shirt Day. As former chief of the Blet Tribe, Chancellor Emeritus of the University of Lethbridge, and Director of the Blet Tribe Department of Health, I am honored to be here to commemorate the uniting of people across Canada to champion organ donation. Gift giving is a part of the Blackfoot culture. Given the gift of life through organ donation is the greatest gift a person can give and receive. The Blackfoot community has higher rates of chronic diseases such as diabetes, which leads to the loss of vision, kidney disease, and heart disease. Unfortunately, recent studies have shown that in First Nations, people aged 30 to 34 years, the rate of new cases of diabetes was 3.4 times higher than the rate in non-First Nations people within the same age group. Rates were over twice as high as in First Nations aged 29 years old and younger, and between 35 and 49 years of age compared to non-First Nations of the same age group. One organ donor can save up to 8 lives, and tissue and eye donors can improve the lives of 75 more. I encourage everyone to consider registering their consent to donate. Dr. Heavenshield, in her design, has captured many of the values of Kainai: kindness, humility, honesty, respect, healing, forgiveness, wisdom, and love. Under the guidance of our Creator, we continue to seek better means of survival and giving the gift of life, not only to improve the health and well-being of our communities, but to strengthen the resilience of our people. Logan's Legacy reminds us that we each have the ability to make a difference and demonstrate the values of Kainai, even by starting the conversation with family. The Logan Boulay effect is about saving lives, and I think it's a tremendous honor to be here with us. I talked to our mayor. I would like to continue the discussion within our own tribe to be associated with that. And it's funny, the mayor mentioned the Adams Eye Center. I have a young grandson that plays with the Lethbridge system with the under 18 triple A team, and that was their home rink last year. I have a niece at the Lethbridge hospital right now who's waiting for a kidney transplant as I speak. So with that, thank you very much, and I want to thank again Toby and Bernie for inviting me here, and to be associated with both of you for many years. I don't know if people know that when I was chancellor at the University of Lethbridge. Toby was on the Senate committee with me, and Bertie has been a teacher at the Kainai high school system in the past for many, many years. So with that, thank you very much, Edmonton.
Next up, somebody I know from frequent donations, and unfortunately had him on hold for a while, but Brianna Scott, Business Development Manager at Canadian Blood Services.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brianna Scott, and I am the Business Development Manager at the Canadian Blood Services Lethbridge Plasma Donor Center. I'm grateful to be here with Canadians who have made such a positive difference to organ and tissue donation and transplantation in this country. As you may know, Canadian Blood Services works in concert with the federal government, provincial and territorial governments, donation and transplant programs, and many provincial and national associations to make more organ and tissue donation and life-saving transplants possible. Each year, we are extraordinarily proud to support Green Shirt Day and work alongside the Blet family, the Canadian Transplant Association, and the Kidney Foundation of Canada on a campaign that means so much to so many. Green Shirt Day has become a beacon of hope for patients and families. The Logan Blet effect is indeed a lasting legacy that continues to impact and inspire Canadians. This day underscores the vital link between organ donation and the gift of life. It represents the important act of registering to be an organ donor and telling your family, the generosity of Canadians to support one another and to make a meaningful difference, to truly be a part of Canada's lifeline. We know that the more people who register their intent to donate and communicate their wishes with their loved ones, the more the patients will benefit. 2 minutes, that's all the time it takes to register a decision that can help save a life. Organ donation happens at a time of tragedy, and by taking the step to register, you take the burden of the decision off your family, so they aren't left wondering what you'd want. It doesn't take away their grief, but it can help shine a little light and a hope in the corner of that grief. It's great to be here today and to help inspire more Canadians to register their intent to donate and remind them the importance of making sure their family knows their wishes. On behalf of Canadian Blood Services, thank you. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to patients and families. Thank you to the Blet family for your continued work and allowing us all to continue to honor Logan's legacy. Thank you for inviting me here to speak today.
They say it's better to give than receive, but I think our next speaker might have a little bit of an argument with that one. Kidney recipient and working with the Canadian Transplant Association, Jan Clemis.
Good day. I'm really proud to be here and to be asked to speak on behalf of the Canadian Transplant Association. Greetings from the Canadian Transplant Association, the CTA, to the Blet family, and to Mayor Hyggen, and to all of the honored guests that are here. I'd like to begin with a message from our provincial director, Katie Dew. She sends her regrets for not being able to come. She's a med student at University of Alberta studying to become a transplant physician, and she's out on a rotation today, so these are her remarks. Today we gather to pay tribute to a remarkable individual whose legacy continues to inspire us all. Logan Blet, a name synonymous with selflessness and compassion, left an indelible mark on the world through his courageous decision to become an organ donor. And standing beside him, steadfast and to honor his memory, the Blet family, whose tireless efforts have transformed tragedy into hope. In the aftermath of the Humboldt-Bronco tragedy, Logan's decision sparked what has become known as the Logan Blet effect. Nearly 150,000 Canadians registered as organ donors in the weeks following that crash, a testament to the profound impact of Logan's selfless act. The ripple effect of his generosity continues to inspire people to this day. The inaugural 2019 Green Shirt Day saw another 100,000 Canadians register to become organ donors. This year we celebrate Green Shirt Day with a new shirt design and a clear goal in mind. We aim to inspire another 100,000 Canadians across the country to register as organ and tissue donors. We hope Green Shirt Day will be an opportunity for all Canadians to take the time to consider organ and tissue donation, to find out how to register in their province or territory, and to have the conversation about it with their loved ones. On behalf of the CTA, Katie would like to thank the Boulay family for their unwavering commitment to the cause of organ donation, which has been nothing short of extraordinary. Toby, Katie wants to, there he is. Katie wanted to thank you personally for your continued participation and efforts with the Canadian Transplant Association. She says your dedication is a testament to the enduring impact of Logan's legacy. If you'll indulge me, I'd like to add a few remarks of my own. I'd like to share with you a few of my own thoughts. As introduced, I'm Jan Clemis from Tabor, and my former husband Kelly received a double lung transplant in 2014, just 6 weeks before the wedding of our daughter, and was able to walk her down the aisle without an oxygen tank. He also, in the next 3 years, although we lost Kelly in 2017, in those next 3 years, he was able to welcome to our family 3 new grandchildren and son-in-law and a daughter-in-law. I myself am a kidney transplant recipient. My son Blair donated one of his kidneys to me just 5 months after Logan's legacy began. I know I now have a birthday on July 4th and a life date on August 29th. My 2 daughters, Bonnie and Carly, both inherited the incurable kidney disease that I suffer from, and their futures will likely include renal failure and the need for a kidney transplant themselves, unless research through the Kidney Foundation, which shout out to the Kidney Foundation, can come up with a cure and that might prevail. So our family is all in on organ donation. We've all personally now have been touched. As I heard the news on April 6, 2018 of the Humboldt tragedy, I, like others across Canada, North America, and the world, was struck with how noble it was for Logan's family to follow his wishes and allow him to become an organ donor. I must admit that as I sat in my dialysis chair, hoping that someday I would be granted a kidney transplant, until I received my shiny new red-headed kidney from my ginger son Blair, I didn't realize the enormity of Logan's legacy. I say that because I truly did regain full life after my transplant, not just an existence. Logan afforded 6 people a new life through his gifts, and as his mom Bernie has often stated, these gifts are generational. The recipients of organs move forward to have fulfilling lives, raise families, contribute positive impacts to our world over decades. I've had the fortune to meet 5 new grandchildren that have been born since my transplant, returned to swimming and travel and teaching, and I've been able to participate in both the winter and the summer World Transplant Games. The Canadian Transplant Association mandate is twofold. First, to raise awareness and advocate for the importance of organ and tissue donation. And the second is to encourage healthy lifestyles and create a community for transplant recipients, angel donor families, and living donors. We host events to bring people together from the transplant community, and one such event will take place this summer in Ottawa from August 3rd to 9th as we host the 10th annual Canadian Transplant Games, the first games since 2019 as the pandemic put things on hold. These games are a unique opportunity for us to demonstrate our good health as transplant, and more importantly, give gratitude to our angel donors and our living donors for the new lease on life that we've achieved. Angel family donors, living donors, and organ recipients all participate, and I can vouch for the fact that although we train, we prepare, and we try to do our best in our chosen events, and there are everything from biking to bowling to darts to swimming to soccer. It's an atmosphere of camaraderie rather than competition. The largest emotion on display is gratitude. Gratitude seeps from our pores as we sweat in our days of competition. We are powered by the gift of life. And I invite everyone personally touched by organ donation to look into attending. Bernie and Toby and I are going to head to Ottawa in August, and I wanted to also indicate that the Transplant Association has a national foundation program to cover registration fees for any young transplant recipients, anybody aged 4 to 17, their registration is covered. It has been my good fortune to get to know Toby and Bernie and Cam and Mariko, their daughter, and Liz and Doug over the last 3 years. I revered them for their actions after the Humboldt crash. They taught us that organ donation isn't a tragedy, but it can be a bright light in the midst of one. Today I know them, and my reverence has grown. I also know of their dedication and their sincerity. I know they suffered enormous loss, but continue to be humble, articulate, kind, and have an amazing sense of humor. They give back to the Southern Alberta community through the Logan Endowment Fund. They have inspired me personally to use my gift of life to advocate for organ donation and to encourage others to have their kitchen table talk. They are gracious, they are wise, they are straight shooters, Toby especially, and they speak from their hearts. So please, please sit up and listen when they encourage you to register, tell your family, and be inspired, because they've inspired me. Thank you very much.
I would invite Joyce Van Derzen, Executive Director of the Kidney Foundation, Southern Alberta and Saskatchewan. Podium, please.
Good morning. It is such an honor and a privilege to be here and to focus on the Logan effect and the incredible impact that Logan and his entire family have had on organ donation in Canada. Nearly 80% of the people on the waiting list for an organ transplant in Canada are waiting for a kidney. So organ donation is a cornerstone of our mission. So partnering with the Boulets has been essential. Their genuine commitment to this cause. I don't think they ever expected this cause to come into their lives the way that it did. But since that time, they have taken grace, courage, love to propel this effect and to advocate for the cause of organ donation. So it's been our privilege to work with them in many collaborations with many others to promote this cause, to educate about this cause, and to continue to inspire others to step up and take action when it comes to organ donation. You know, most people, over 90% of Canadians say they would be willing to be organ donors, but fewer than half of them have taken an action to demonstrate their commitment to organ donation. So this is why Green Shirt Day is so important. Every day is a great day to wear a green shirt and to talk about this cause. But this time in particular really shines the spotlight on organ donation, the impact that one person can have on the lives of so many through becoming an organ donor themselves, as Logan did, and by talking about it and inspiring so many others as his family has done since that time. So we are privileged to work with them as powerful and effective community advocates, not only here in Southern Alberta and in Alberta, but across Canada and in fact outside the borders of Canada. And that's what we all need to do, talk about it. The most important thing that you need to do is, as others have said, have that kitchen table talk, share your wishes with your family, share it with the community, talk to them about it, because the more people that we can get committed to this cause, the more lives are going to be saved. It's just that simple. And the Boulets are committed to this cause for life, and we are very, very privileged to work with them. Toby, Bernie, Mariko, soon to be Cam coming into the Boulet family officially, and we just admire and are grateful for their commitment. And some of that is public awareness, some of it is behind the scenes advocacy with governments at all levels and with other organizations to bring about policies and initiatives that are really going to make a difference on organ donation, organ and tissue donation, and change people's lives. So today's a great day to wear green shirts. Let's wear them as many days throughout the year as we can and provoke those conversations and provoke that inspiration, because nobody in Canada has inspired more people than Logan Boulet, and we want to keep that going. So thank you for the opportunity to be here today in Lethbridge, and we'll be here whenever it's time to talk about organ donation. Thank you so much.
Our last two speakers, it kind of seems funny to even have to introduce them, but Toby, Bernie, come on.
That's all we are, no for an uphill. I'm up first.
I know.
Yeah.
I want you to try to say that other word.
Okay.
You don't say that.
Okay.
And then I wanted him to say unveiled.
Yeah.
But he said he wasn't going to touch
She
that.
said that there's a longer version, but it's hi or hello. I just go with hi. Okay. I learned from Haley's mom today, Haley. So, Mariko's not with us today. She's an occupational therapist for pediatrics, and with reading week this week, she's booked solid from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 at night, and she couldn't get out their appointment for the kiddo, so that's important. So she sent Cam instead, and Cam's done a great job. He's been called out 3 times now, so there. In case you're wondering, Cam and Mariko are getting married in June. You can donate for that over here for kidding, of course. We're honored to be able to call each of the speakers today our friends. In past press conferences, we've had people come from all over, but today it's everyone that spoke we know personally, and we've known them for years, it seems. Many, many years. We wish to thank everyone here this morning for supporting our family and the transplant community as we continue our journey since the humble Bronco tragedy on April 6, 2018. It is hard to accept that almost 6 years has slipped by since Logan passed. His legacy continues to strengthen as we remember his knowing grit, massive heart, and giving nature. Our journey continues to evolve and has changed dramatically since those first few days in the hospital in Saskatoon. We continue to learn so much about the transplant community and strive to be advocates for organ and tissue donation and registration. We know it was the right decision for both Logan and our family for Logan to be an organ donor. He would have been so humbled to know that this simple decision has made such an incredible impact on so many folks, both young and old, who have received transplants, and folks waiting for organs and donors, organs and tissues, and of course, their family and friends who journey with them. Logan would be in the background, as he is right now, with his amazing smile, knowing that he has helped these people to understand that they do matter, because every time there's a registration of an organ donor, I gotta make a little joke here. It's almost like every time something happens on a Hallmark card movie, there's sprinklers. That's that line. There's snowfalls. Yes, there's snowfalls. But I read that line. That's what that reminded me. Because every time there's a registration of an organ donor, there's hope. Every time there's a conversation, there's hope. An organ may be coming to help save their life.
Each year, Green Shirt Day is recognized with a new shirt and a new logo designed and inspired by part of Logan's story. We're very thankful this year to have Hali Heavy Shield design the symbolic logo for the 2024 Green Shirt Day campaign. We feel the star represents Logan so very, very well. Hali is an incredibly talented, multifaceted artist who has shared her talents not only with us, but with our community and with Southern Alberta and across the nation. In fact, yesterday we were driving down the street here in downtown Lethbridge, and we got to enjoy her artwork on the TELUS building, which is just down the street as part of the Lethbridge Public Art Collection. So go by there on your way out. A little story about Hali's and my connection, which she's already talked about, happened probably more than 15 years ago, and Hali walked into my room as a student teacher for PS1 from the University of Lethbridge. She joined our grade 2 classroom easily, like she belonged there. I knew in those 5+ weeks that she was an incredibly talented and promising person to be truly successful in everything she undertook. And here, so many years later, we are connecting again and experiencing her talents, not just with my class, but with our community and across the nation. Thank you, Hali, for all you've done. We are greatly appreciative of the kindness and support we continue to receive and share with the Kidney Foundation of Canada, with Canadian Blood Services, with Canadian Transplant Association, and the whole community of Lethbridge and of Southern Alberta and across the nation. We never realized the impact that our decision to have Logan carry out his choice to be an organ donor would touch so many lives. And the stories that we hear are always the things that keep us going. During this past weekend, we were very, very fortunate to be part of the Green Shirt Day at the rink in Tabor. Jan Clemis, who spoke and told you her story, has organized this event for the past 3 years. It is a wonderful day to make connections and share life stories with recipients and donors, their families, and angel donor families. We continue to build this kinship and this trek that we all share. Not necessarily one we want to be on, but here we find ourselves there. But what I really love about that day is getting to chat with the young hockey players that come to the table that Jan sets up to talk about Logan and to share stories about Logan, to inspire these young hockey players to have conversations with their teammates, to have conversations with their family, to have conversations with people around them and their friends, to become a registered donor. One young man came back to the table 3 times. Each time he brought different teammates to hear the stories about Logan and to hear about organ donation. They asked questions, and it was just heartwarming to know that they genuinely wanted to know Logan's story, and they wanted to know how they could become an organ donor and make a difference. They took stickers for their helmets to put on to celebrate Logan and to celebrate Green Shirt Day and his story. These young hockey players who ranged in age from 12 to 18 will make an impact on others as they continue to have conversations about organ donation and share Logan's story. This is what Green Shirt Day is all about: sharing stories, becoming registered. All we would like is for everybody to be inspired by Logan's story, to tell your family and have that conversation, and to register to make a difference in the lives of so many. Thank you so much for coming today.